Hi there.
Yeah.
Todd and Erin, morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Welcome to the Halloween fall thing. 50 degrees this morning, so a lot warmer than yesterday.
Are we going to make the Halloween tree this week on set?
I don't know, let's go to the mountain camp then.
All right. Well, the Morning Mountain Cam this morning brought to you by Black Diamond Experts, Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Nice and dark outside. I saw a really good branch, by the way, just behind the studio, just off the golf course. That would be a really good Halloween tree.
You have to explain what that is now.
Well, no, we do a Halloween tree every year because Christmas, there's trees. But Halloween, you get a big, dead, creepy branch. And
Every year I have to search.
He does, and he's magnificent. And then you stick it in a bucket of cement, and then you decorate it with all kinds of ooky, spooky stuff. And so it makes it really fun. And then, of course, it can transfer into the Thanksgiving thankful tree because I'm too lazy to actually take anything down. So it really works out great.
I think it's great that we just take it down before Christmas and not use it as a Christmas tree.
That's entirely possible.
It
I could work something out for you
how
if you need
lazy
that.
we are this year. So anyway,
We
what
can
else?
do it.
Oh, here's a little note, just a little thing to get your attention. There might be a little bit of a difficulty with your Yahoo account, and the reason that is because they did have a breach. But relax, because it's only every account.
Every single account.
Every account. That's
Yeah.
That's holy.
Every single account.
3 billion.
You know, it's funny. Remember yesterday?
I don't know if it's funny.
Well, you had a couple of accounts on Yahoo during then. So the real problem is that you were saying, oh, well, it's dead. It's like the problem is, though, is they get your phone number and your address.
No.
And then they get, like, passwords. And so it's stuff that people tend to use over and over again.
Birth dates, names, phone numbers, passwords, security questions, backup email addresses used to reset them.
Yeah.
Every single one of us.
Every
Together
single one
this-
of you.
all right.
They forgot to tell you. It was like a surprise.
All right, so Erin was
They were
up
going to wait till your birthday, but they didn't have time.
to 1 o'clock last night.
And then, of course, there's Equifax. Remember yesterday we told you that the president of Equifax got fired because he's an idiot, and they were using the passwords admin on all of their super secret servers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to admit, as he was walking out the door, that another 2.5 million people were compromised.
Okay.
Guess what? I go on last night and I find out there are 6 new accounts open in our name. So thank you so much, Equifax. I really appreciate how amazing you are. Because it only took me till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, all right.
to-
You need to vent, I think, properly. You ready?
Yes.
Take a really deep breath. Give me the...
You get a thing
Yeah,
that goes, oh
breathe,
yeah, we can't
breathe,
do
breathe.
that at this time. You're gonna have to call back tomorrow.
Breathe like this.
No, I'm too angry.
Okay.
Something, one of my internal organs exploded last night.
Yeah, I heard-
about 1 o'clock. I'm
heard
not
that.
sure which, but
I
it
heard
was
that.
yeah.
All right. We
Yeah.
have calm?
So thank you so very much, and
Okay.
I really don't hope you get some sort of horrible spleen cancer that causes it to explode all over you.
Wow.
At all.
Feel better?
At all. No.
How did
No,
we,
I
how did
actually
we
really-
find out? How did we find out?
We actually are on Credit Karma, which is free, by the way. Credit Karma is free. It doesn't charge you anything. And,
Okay.
and it says, hey, did you know you got a bunch of new accounts? I was just wondering if you knew you had a bunch of new
Okay.
accounts. And that's how I found
There are
out.
a bunch
we
of
have-
free ones out there, right? People can use.
Credit Karma is really good.
Is it?
It's really reputable and it's
They
accurate.
should
but
pay us.
At this point, you're so screwed up anyway. And it's not just me. I mean, there's a couple of people like Scott and Amy on Facebook that I talk to that are going through the same thing. But it's literally, it's all on you to like prove it to them, and it's like they're doing you a favor. And they said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll monitor your credit for free till the 21st of November, and then it's going to cost you. I'm like, but it's your screw up.
Yeah.
You just ruined my life, and it's your. Oh yeah, till
Sorry
the
about
21st
that.
though.
It's like they're not responsible.
How did they get so powerful, these three? Where it's like where they get to basically screw up your life, and it's like, okay.
It's because they're the man.
Yes, I think
They're
that's
the
probably
man.
correct.
All
Wendy
right.
also uses Credit Karma.
Huntsman went to Russia.
Boy, that wasn't awkward or anything. Now, okay, picture this. Now, Huntsman's smooth. We love this guy.
He
John
is.
Huntsman Jr.
Look at this. It's like they almost look at each other.
Look at the big gigantic goldness of the embassy.
Yes.
Well, it was kind of cool though because he's smooth. We know this guy, Governor Huntsman's smooth. There's just about no situation this man can't make good. But you're walking into a situation where Putin has thrown out 99% of your staff in your embassy.
Right.
His entire country is under investigation, including him, for screwing with our elections.
Right.
And Huntsman gets to go, hey, how you doing?
And soften it all
It
up.
is so nice to see you. I think we're going to have a great working relationship.
So we can play well together.
And Putin actually said the current level of the ties cannot satisfy us. And he said, you shouldn't be meddling in our, quote, domestic affairs.
What? Wait a minute. What about the election?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's not go through that because it's just never going to work. But in any case, Huntsman's smooth. If anyone can make this work, it's John.
Unless he goes missing. You never know.
That's nice.
These people poison someone with radiation.
Well, it was only once.
Well, it only takes once.
This is true. Nah, he's smooth. He'll
To
get out of
Utah.
anything. He's like the James Bond of governors. He's going to be great.
Brace yourselves, Utah,
Yeah.
because we have driverless cars coming.
Well, it's a thing. Apparently, it's going to officially be a thing. They're actually kind of looking ahead on this. Now, Congress was already, they were working on a national level to clear the road.
Wait, look at the picture. I see people driving like that all the time.
that
And we
looks-
don't even have self-driving cars.
Man, that makes me so happy just to look at that.
I wonder if the self-driving cars will use their signals for a change.
That would be exciting, wouldn't it? They call it the realm of autonomous vehicles. And so it's interesting because Utah legislators went through some of the regulatory changes and they're already trying to set the legislation because they're expecting that it should be up by the 1st of 2018.
Right.
So they wanted to be ahead of the curve on what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. So they were trying to kind of sift through all of the national regulations to see what everybody else was doing. But autonomous vehicles are going to be a thing by 2018.
And they're doing it with semis in some places.
That one seems a little alarming to me. It's like, really, do we want that?
If you had
Because if you
autonomous
get
car,
a slip up on the chip,
Okay.
the computer chip with a tractor trailer rig, that's a big
well,
slip up.
they did have a major accident with a guy who came up on a tractor trailer, and you know how they have the shiny metal, shiny aluminum sometimes?
Oh, and he couldn't read it?
It couldn't read it, and boom.
Awkward.
So if you had a self-driving car, would you be comfortable going the speed limit? Or would you be yelling at it?
See, the trick is they do the best when they're on highways and they have a more straight ahead progress.
Right.
But that's when you're going 70 miles an hour. So if there is a slip up, that seems to be a really bad time.
Yeah.
Around the city, they don't do as well, but they also tend to go about 5 to 10 miles slower than the speed limit in the city, which also irritates other drivers. So it's kind of that combo of, I don't think the tech's there
Well,
yet.
I think they're all working on it.
I really like the vision of being able to sit there and reading in my car.
I just don't want to be the
work, but
person they're working on.
yeah. There's sometimes you don't want to be the test dummy in the double-blind study. So it's
I tried, but they wouldn't take me. Houston area homeowner. Now, I've heard a lot about the what do they call them? The
HOAs. Home
HOAs.
Association.
And it's never been good. It's like someone wanted to put a mailbox with the red, white, and blue on it. It's like, no, you can't do that.
Well, a homeowners association is meant to regulate that you can't paint your house pink with purple stripes. I mean,
And you agree to this going in?
Yeah, I mean everybody knows what they're getting into when they go into it, and the thing is that it's meant to establish a certain standard of appearance and maintenance, and it was originally started just like, look, you got to mow your grass and stuff.
Okay.
And then of course they kind of get more and more exacting, and then you get the ladies in are like, we don't think this is aesthetically pleasing.
That's
so
the
we won't
one I
let you
keep
do
hearing
it.
about.
And that's the where you start going, really, you got to get out more in the world. But so what was the problem with this HOA? Was he mowing his lawn or something?
No,
or
I'll give you a heads up on this. So
bushes, like he had the 2 tall bushes. They hate those.
especially if they're not level. Actually, I've heard stories about that. It just horrifies me. Well, this guy doesn't really care because he thought, you know what, it's a multi-million-dollar home, and he wanted to park something out front that he had just bought from Europe.
Oh, like a nice cars. Oh, yeah, like one of the expensive sports cars and stuff.
No, an M4 Sherman tank. $600,000 worth of tank.
He
And
bought
look
a
at this.
tank.
He even put down plywood so he wouldn't hurt the surface.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, evidently,
On his front lawn. Okay.
it's a parking strip, like for an RV.
Well, but
It's a tank. The kids love it. They all have pictures with it.
yeah.
And so because of the way they approached him, he kind of went, screw you, I'm keeping the tank.
Oh, he got his back up and he's all ticked off now.
He's got millions. I mean, these people don't have anything to do, so why not take on the HOA?
He has a tank.
He has a tank.
Well, maybe he could.
Why do you have to pick a fight with a guy with a tank?
Maybe he could put like flower boxes around it to make it more aesthetically pleasing for the ladies in the HOA.
I don't know.
Because you know that there's not a single guy in that HOA who disapproved of that. They're like, yeah, that's totally cool. Go
I
ahead.
want one
go
too.
ahead. That's fine. That's great.
Can
No
I get
problem.
one? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I'd park in front of your house.
$600,000. I just can't. I can't picture being in Europe and going. I have $600,000, and what I really want to do with it,
Is.
I want to buy a Sherman tank.
Did
I mean,
you-
who?
Do you know that?
I didn't know really. Number one, that this opportunity was available to the average consumer. And number two, I can't imagine having that kind of expendable income. But having that kind of expendable income, yeah, I'm guessing this is going to be a court battle.
I wonder if it came with like 2 or 3 Germans. Lederhosen, or that's Austria, isn't it?
That's Austria.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. Okay, sorry. Didn't they take over Austria though? That makes sense, right? Now? Oh, suddenly it makes sense.
No, it's where the Sound of Music all pops in, and then you get nuns going, and it's the Alps, and yeah.
Okay.
We've kind of got off track again, haven't we?
Just a tad. Do you know that there was a reality show about rebuilding tanks, and it was right here in Utah. And
we needed a reality show because
Well,
it's such a common
I
thing
remember
of
watching
rebuilding
it,
tanks.
and they have this huge warehouse someplace, and to lift the turret off, the turret weighs like 4 billion pounds. And they rebuild the tracks, and they do all that stuff.
This is
'cause
why I'm
who
grateful
doesn't want
we-
a tank?
We don't have a bigger garage because every time we talk about new houses, Todd goes, "I want a really big garage, like an RV-sized garage," and I'm like, "No," because that's exactly what would happen. Exactly.
So anyway, let's get some more
Exactly.
information.
He would be
now,
dragging a tank home, going, "Honey, look what I found
Now
in
that-
trash pickup."
Now that I'm all depressed now, Daisy's ready.
Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She's brought to you by Fink and McGregor. It's Fink-McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Go online and take a look. If Equifax hasn't screwed up your credit numbers, you can get a loan for as low as 600 credit score. Isn't that nice? I'll be so happy for you. Also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, 24-hour emergency service because John knows you're going to need it. It's time to shut off the sprinklers. Why not have an expert come by and make sure your furnace is ready? AllUtahPlumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on?
Hello everyone, here's what's making headlines Wednesday, October the 4th on GephartDaily.com. 2 days after the worst mass shooting in US history, we now know that at least 3 Utahns are among those who lost their lives in Las Vegas Sunday night. A news release from Cedar City Police Tuesday confirmed that Heather Warino Alvarado, wife of Cedar City firefighter Albert Alvarado, passed away as a result of the shooting. Also killed were 28-year-old St. George resident Cameron Robinson and 46-year-old former Salt Lake City resident Nasa Tonks. All told, 59 people, including the shooter, died in the mass shooting. 527 more were wounded. A former Davis County High School chemistry teacher has been sentenced to 3 years to life in prison for abusing a 16-year-old girl. 70-year-old Douglas B. Tate from Kaysville was a part-time chemistry teacher at Bountiful's Viewmont High School early last school year when officials say he had sexual contact with the teen, who was not a student at the school, but whom he met through an acquaintance. Tate pleaded guilty to 3 felony charges in exchange for reducing some charges and dropping 6 others. And a Utah man has won the Nobel Prize for his work as a scientist. Kip S. Thorne, a native of Logan, shared the award from the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences with 2 other men who were noted for their, quote, invaluable contributions to the success of the revolutionary Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory. Say that 3 times fast. The 3 scientists will share an award of more than $1 million. And now to our $1 million forecast from along the Wasatch Front, where high temps will hang in the mid-60s under mostly sunny skies, overnight lows in the 40s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to getpartdaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, so I was hanging out with John yesterday from All Utah Plumbing, and we were doing another deal that we're going to show you coming up later. The furnace thing. He's offering it right now to go through your furnace. Now, before I say that, when I say go through your furnace, I mean like go through with all the equipment, test your gas pressure, make sure it's combusting right, make sure there's no CO2. They pull the blower out. They go in with cleanser and cleaner and paint brushes to dust everything off, and that makes your furnace last longer. $69 right now, All Utah Plumbing. Just go to allutahplumbing.com for more information.
Okay, we've all had this joke, and this is about tell me something good, but we have the joke now about the Nigerians and, hey, send me $3,000, and then I'm going to tell you that you won $47 million.
Yeah.
I just need $3,000 to send you the 47.
Right.
We kind of all know those. Well, Maria Gret is a much better person than I am. She's Swedish, and she had lost her husband when she was 58, and she started doing some online dating, which a lot of people do. That's how most people meet people nowadays. And she started talking to who she thought was a 60-year-old Danish man. Well, after about 3 months of flirting and conversation, Johnny said,
saucy minx.
Johnny said, I'm going to meet you in Sweden. I'm going to fly in. He says, I'm going down to Nigeria first for a job interview for my son, Nick.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go down and support him. So the next phone call she gets is from Johnny saying, we've been mugged. My son was shot in the head. I can't access any money from my bank. So money's taking time to process.
This is not a stranger. This is someone that she has a relationship with.
Yeah, that she's had a relationship with for
I'm
several
really
months.
worried about what you're about to say.
And so, without question, he said, could you send me €1,000 to get him started for treatment?
Right.
And without even thinking, she goes, of course I will.
Oh,
Because
boy.
this is the kind of woman she is. She helps people without even thinking. She's like, of course I will. And so... then, of course, when he continues to ask for more money and more money, and she comes to her senses and goes, yeah, never mind.
Oh.
So she stops, cuts off contact, and goes,
Her
okay.
her heart is broken.
And and this is somebody she thought she could have a long relationship with. Well, here's the weird thing. Fast forward 3 years later.
3 years later.
3 years later, and Johnny emails her, and he
Johnny,
says,
the guy?
yeah, he goes, I want to tell you how sorry I am for what I did to you. He said,
What?
He said, I was desperate, and I had graduated from university here, Nigeria, and he said, but I couldn't find a job, and I started doing this.
No excuse,
and,
but
no,
go
it's
ahead.
not. And he goes, but
Go
I just
ahead.
want to tell you how very sorry I am. And he said, I don't have an excuse for what I did, but I just wanted to ask you for your forgiveness.
Right.
Now, this woman, Maria, who is so much better than I am, they start talking, and they develop an actual relationship.
Oh,
that he's a
not
24-year-old.
again.
No, but that he's a 24-year-old, and some of the things that have been happening to him. And so she
So
decided...
friendship.
Yeah, friendship.
Okay.
So she also, so she flew down and she wanted to meet him. And she got to know him. She got to know some of his friends through internet fraud too. And she said, they're delightful young men. And they literally, I don't think they realize the impact of what they do. They're younger. They're kind of like, oh, I never really see them, so it doesn't impact what they've done.
It's not real, right?
So she gets a chance to talk to them. And she's like, let me explain how this impacts people and what has happened. And so you've got this group of actual internet scammers who are like, oh. I mean, who actually gets to see them face to face? So what she did is this. She said, you know what I'm going to do? She goes, I'm going to start an African and European art grant for you guys. She said, if you can get your work back up to snuff and you can do what you're supposed to and go through all the processes.
We're talking artists.
Yeah,
Okay.
And she says, I'll help support you. We'll get grants going. And so she actually got that started. They started attending European art exhibitions and competitions. She source-funded new international grants for them. And the amazing thing is that, so literally these guys all started getting careers that blossomed in art.
Because of mom.
They started being able to travel and go on. And then Johnny had been doing well, and he got offered a scholarship in America to continue his studies, but obviously he couldn't afford the living expenses and stuff like that.
Don't say it.
She finished paying for his college education, his graduate education. They email each other every single day. She said, he's become very dear to me, and he's asked me so many times to please forgive him. And she said, I have. He now has a job in the corporate sector where he creates art for like the office buildings and stuff.
Right.
He's paid her back every penny. And his friends have all started a repayment program where they couldn't really do it to the pay back to the scammers. So they've started repaying through charities in their own country. How cool. For the rest of us, you would think, okay, I would set them on fire. And this woman's like, I'm going to fix your
No,
life.
if Erin ever met them, she'd hit him in the forehead with a mallet.
But how amazing is this woman?
That's amazing.
Because this is a really unlikable group of young men. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And she changed their lives.
Yeah. That's a crazy story.
You have
She
to
is a
admit-
much better person than we are.
You have to
Yeah.
admit, this is an amazing woman.
Hey, I was talking to you yesterday, and someone said they want to win the Christopher dinner because we're saying thank you very much for watching the show and listening to it. And so we're sending people to Christopher's. You and 3 of your friends can go there. Incredible steakhouse. And you can choose the things you want to eat, and it's just,
No,
and we
it all
can't
revolves
go.
around meat. Let's just be honest.
Right.
Glorious, glorious
How
meat.
do they enter?
It's really ridiculously simple. Just go on any one of our Facebook pages, and as you're watching the show, and we talk about Christopher's, which we are doing now. Just make a mention. I'd like to go to Christopher's. Whatever you want to say. I like meat. Who cares? There's the Todd and Erin Facebook page, Gephardt Daily Facebook page, or the Gephardt Approved Facebook page, wherever you're watching. Make a comment. On Friday, we draw a winner, and you and your 3 friends are off to Christopher's. And
All
it's
right.
just that simple.
So coming up in just a little bit, we're going to, a police officer, gets in the movies. And that's coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
All right, so I want to first of all, so Zoe, our 6-year-old, taking swimming lessons, went to Steiner's for the first time, and
Someone
sat,
explain this to me. Do you all
sat
have,
really close to her.
do you all have 6-year-olds who go, oh no, I already know how to do that?
She
It's like,
doesn't.
no, baby, you don't know how to swim.
Yes,
No, I
she
do.
doesn't.
I totally do.
No.
No, Zoe, you don't really. Yeah, I do. I
So-
have no idea of the inescapable confidence of a 6-year-old that there's nothing she can't accomplish, which ordinarily you encourage in your children up to the point where it's a really like sort of a life and death thing of, no, you really actually have to swim.
Swimming is one of the
No.
best tools you can teach your kid, I think, because it makes them self-reliant in case anything does happen. Plus, they can have fun with their friends and all that. I sat there. We were about 10 feet away.
Was she
There's
nervous?
3 boys. No, and there's the four of them, and they're all like this tall, and hanging out with the moms. And I just looked over to the moms and I said, "Do you remember your swimming lesson?" And I remembered mine, and it was horrible.
Well, mine was my father who just basically barked instructions
Threw
at
you
me.
in.
So, yeah. Stay on
eight,
that.
8 o'clock in the morning, outside pool. I know you tough. Got in there. I was a pollywog. I wanted to be a shark, but I was a pollywog, and
Everybody has to start somewhere, honey.
we froze our butts off, and it was because I was a little tiny guy, and it was a horrible experience. Absolutely horrible.
Really?
Oh, the whole time. It's like, let's do this at noon when it's warm outside.
You would think so. So was it the injustice of being a pollywog that affected you the most, or the fact that you were slowly dying of hypothermia? I'm just curious.
I just don't think they cared. I just think they were just. But anyway, she had a great time. I sent you that picture, and she and I'm so happy as a dad. I'm like, oh my gosh, she likes it. This is so cool, and the instructor's really nice too.
That's a big deal.
It is a huge deal. All right. I want you
so
to
relieved.
prepare yourself. This is going to be about a body cam on a police officer. But wait, whoa. Nothing goes wrong. Well,
There's actually several things that went wrong,
So
but
I
none
have
of them were his fault.
I have to set this up for you. This has happened in Indiana. 911 call goes out, attempted robbery, armed robber in progress. And so basically the cop he shows up and he's got his gun out, and watch this.
Wow. Okay, I would like to point out they were filming an independent movie. They had not pulled any permits from the city. They hadn't notified anybody that they were filming on the street. And as you could tell from the street, there was no movie truck. There were no cameras that you could have seen. There was nothing other than this guy wearing a mask over his head and holding what appears to be a functioning firearm.
Let's watch it again. Poo in your pants. That's like a live moment, captured forever.
You know what? This is exactly like when I came home with Zachy, and we've been hiking up in the mountains. And if you've ever been in the mountains here along the foothills in fall, the tarantulas come out because the males are looking for some sweet, sweet loving. They got that whole biological thing going, and they will not stop till they find a girl. So they're desperate. They don't care if you're there or not. We also have rattlesnakes in the foothills. So Zachy and I stumbled upon a rattlesnake eating a tarantula, which basically made me dance on my tiptoes for the next 2.5 miles getting him out of the mountains.
Right.
I come home and I'm shaking, and I talk to him. I go, "Oh my God, hon, we were." And there was
A snake eating a tarantula.
And he goes, "Did you get a picture?" Well, no, I was trying to get our son away from the rattlesnake eating
That's
tarantula
like
thing.
National Geographic stuff.
I'm sorry that I put my son's well-being ahead of your desire for a photograph of the rattlesnake eating a tarantula.
He can run fast. Oh, by the way, that movie comes out. It's called 10 to Fire. 10 as in 10 to, as not,
Get it?
but this is
Get it?
actually the number 10. But 10 to Fire, that's funny.
That is seriously the name of the
Comes
movie?
out in 2018. Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Was he wearing brown shorts?
He was afterwards, yeah.
Yes, he was.
So tell me about MIT.
Well, this was really funny. They actually did this down at Wired magazine. I think you've got the story, but they picked up one of those Lego sets. Now, Zoe's obsessed with Legos, so it's made my life a living HE double hockey sticks because I have to help her. I don't have it.
All right, you know the story
And
now.
I do have it. Never mind, I lied.
Oh, you did.
So Wired magazine said, "Hey, let's get 6 guys from MIT. Actually, 4 guys, 2 women. You guys are all smart." And they
Right.
went, yeah, and they went, "We're giving you the biggest Lego set they make." And they put this gigantic sucker down.
Oh,
And
wait. You mean it comes as the sets?
No, it's all the pieces. You have
Right.
to put them all together.
Right.
And it's unimaginably huge. It takes over an entire table. But the manual is this thick, and it's like they went, "Oh crap!" So they were
Wow.
taking pictures, and once again, these are MIT
What was it of?
scientist guys. I think it was the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
So it literally took them 3 days to put this sucker
Oh
together.
my gosh!
Like 18 hours a day, like with very small breaks, and they were hysterical.
Look
They
how
were-
small the people are.
Isn't that funny? Look at that thing.
They're Lego people.
It's not the Millennium Falcon. What is that?
I don't know.
I'm going to
Now
have
we're
to
going to
look
get,
at
yeah,
this.
now we're in trouble.
And I even love Star
I
Wars.
think it's a Millennium Falcon.
The
I
only
watched
thing-
it last night.
The
Can't
only thing that
remember.
matters is this is the largest Lego set they have, and it took 6 MIT scientists. Yes, 6 from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. 3 days, 18
Right.
hours a day to put this together. So if you feel like an utter failure that you're doing a smaller kit with your children and you want to set fire to the entire thing,
Can't figure out where that windshield goes.
we're allowed.
All right. This is sad. This is sad, and it talks about women taking care of themselves in Utah, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I had to nag you. When we're on radio, everyone called in and because I'm nagging her to go get it done, and I tried.
Mary Nichols at KUTV, you set her on me.
She busted her. Yeah, she got busted on
She
TV.
and Ron Bird, they all
Yeah.
like gave me the finger of shame.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And so finally she goes and does it, and it's everything's fine and stuff. But you put it off. Before you did it, how long? How many years? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, point made. Utah women are horrible at this.
Here is the one thing that is a big deal. In my family, we have a much higher incidence of breast cancer here. My mom's family is from southern Utah, where they said, "Oh, go look at the pretty sunsets after the atomic testing." Yeah, my grandmother died of breast cancer, and all of my aunties have had it. My mother's the only one who hasn't. So yeah, you would think that I would pay more attention, and no, I hadn't until it was actually, Todd had finally worn me down to the point where I forced myself.
Right.
But that's what we all do. We're going, oh, we're all so busy. I'm busy, and it doesn't really matter. But, you'll take your kids to the emergency room for a hangnail.
Right.
Let's be honest. And this goes for men too, by the way.
I do everything I'm supposed to.
Yeah, after I've harassed you into it. But the
Once
point
I
is
found
this.
out colonoscopies, they give you really good drugs.
Okay.
Medically.
Nationwide,
doctor.
I still don't think it's that great. 72% of women nationally get the recommended breast cancer screenings. The correct age and when you're supposed to get the mammograms and for how long.
Right.
Women here in Utah, we're only 65%.
That's ridiculous.
We suck.
That's
we
ridiculous.
suck. We're in the bottom 5, you guys. We're in the bottom 5 of the nation, and every single one of us has known someone who has either passed from breast cancer or is probably fighting it as we speak. So we suck.
Okay, here's
the sad part is that Governor Herbert was the one who said, okay, look, we're all going to get together on this, and I'm going to totally support you guys, and we're doing it this year. And he was so funny. I just was dying laughing, thinking about his wife back there. I'm wondering if she's had hers done, because she's crazy busy all the time. I find her adorable.
This will give you an idea. When we were talking to one of the people in charge of running this for the hospitals, is the fact that if you suddenly have the guts right now to do this, as soon as they open, you call your doctor, and they have a huge amount of cancellations on breast exams.
Sadly, because everyone freaks out and they
freaks
chicken out.
out, or a lot of women go together now. They get together and they go and have the test done together as a clan.
Yeah, whatever it takes, go and do it. And the thing is, look, they're very, very, very nice. If you've never had one and you're afraid that it's going to hurt or all the terrible, no, it's. And the funny thing is that you are correct, though, about the groups of women. I've talked to a couple of different oncologists who said they had 5 or 6 different women who would go in after lunch, and apparently they had all drunk theirs. And she went, "That's fine. We can still do the test. I don't care." She's like, whatever it takes. I mean, she actually at one point had this thing of cheesecake in her office. She would tell people, "Come in, I'll do it, and you can have a nice piece of cheesecake. It will be all right." But I mean, literally, they're at that point where they're like, I'll do anything for you to keep your appointment.
65% of women care about themselves.
We suck. No, more importantly, it's like, do you care about your family?
If you leave me alone with our kids, I would pee on your grave.
We do this to each other. I will dig your dead body up and I will kick it to death again if you leave me
And
alone
put
with
you
our
back
children.
in the ground.
Because it's true. It's us against them every day.
Because we love each other.
No, it's really us against them.
All right, so
65%. We got to do better than this, you guys. And by the way, I'm going to post this on Facebook right after the show today. If you do not know where you can go for low-cost breast cancer screenings, and there's also free programs, I will put that up.
Okay.
It's not having insurance. I don't care. We'll still find a way for you to get your screening. They've set this aside for a very specific reason. They really want women to do this.
All right, so coming up, something very logical about the females as well, and that's coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
This women's awareness show, which is great. So we dealt with the breast cancer. Now what?
Well, traditionally, I don't expect a lot from our legislature here in Utah, because Todd and I have been on a lot of different activism bills where we've tried to go up and lobby and talk and try to understand everybody's side, and it never seems to work out very well, ever. But this one is so good that I'm like, thank you for understanding this. There's a Republican state lawmaker. It's Ray Ward of Bountiful. He is actually a family physician, and he said this seems to me to be an obvious thing, and he started citing studies, and people actually paid attention.
About what?
He's suggesting that Utah pay for long-acting birth control for low-income women. mainly giving them health care where they go and they get the screenings,
Right.
like pap smear, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then they give them
Birth control.
the low-cost birth control. And this is the long-term stuff. So it can be the shots or different implants and things that will last for up to a year.
Oh, I see.
And then there's regular maintenance that they pay for this long term. Now, they were saying, well, this is ridiculous. Why would we do a certain thing like that? And he pointed out, well, in Colorado, they saved $70 million in state and federal money. They cut teen abortion rates in half within 5 years by providing 36,000 women, low income, with long-acting birth control. So we cut down on pregnancy rates, we cut down on abortion rates, we check on women's health who ordinarily can't afford it, and they get birth control.
What are you thinking?
And so Representative Ward said that his concept would save an estimated $9 million within a 4-year pilot program, and that's just for 8,000 women. He says, let's get started with those.
Cool.
So if you think this is a good idea and you are an activist, you might want to just make a note or an email to your state representative stating, we seem to think that's a pretty good idea.
Nice
Just a
job.
thought.
All right, you pick this up. I'm looking for something right now.
Okay, are you
seems
talking about the
logical.
fact we're going to Daisy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go to Daisy. She is, of course, in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a wide variety of options, and trust me, you have never heard of some of these, but they're there. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air, and they also have a brand new shop now up in Ogden, so they're even closer. Go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's what's making national and world news Wednesday, October 4th on GephartDaily.com. The one person who may have a clue as to why Las Vegas gunman Stephen Paddock killed 58 people and wounded more than 500 others is talking to investigators. Mary Lou Danley, Paddock's girlfriend, flew in from the Philippines and landed in Los Angeles late Tuesday night. She was accompanied by FBI agents and will be questioned by Las Vegas police. Leaked photos from Paddock's hotel suite at Mandalay Bay were also published Tuesday. The images show a number of sniper rifles inside the room and hundreds of shell cases lying on the floor. Donald Trump is taking heat after his somewhat bizarre trip to Puerto Rico Tuesday. Trump seemed to downplay the devastation Hurricane Maria brought to the U.S. territory, saying it paled in comparison to a real catastrophe like Katrina. Trump later met with storm survivors and helped distribute supplies. At one point, he lobbed paper towel rolls into the crowd like he was shooting jump shots. And here's some news that might have you longing for the days of snail mail. It's been revealed that every single Yahoo email account, more than 3 billion in all, was affected by a 2013 data breach. The information was released by Verizon Communications, which bought Yahoo earlier this year. Yahoo had previously stated that about a third of accounts had been hacked. But not to worry, the company released a statement yesterday saying it took steps to rectify the data breach after it occurred. Don't you feel better? That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear
I
Daisy.
find this terrifying. I'm not sure why. Her name is Jackie Miley.
Well, we'll talk about her in a minute, but first I have to tell you about Black Diamond. Mm-hmm. They are the experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air. Look at that face. This is the face of a man you can trust. Plus, he needs a shave, but he probably never gets time to have a shave because he's getting called all the time. They have a new shop, by the way, up in Ogden now, so you have even more options to get Black Diamond. But the reason why they do Black Diamond Expert is because basically they can cover almost anything in the house. Electric, plumbing, heating, air, they got it all. And this is the time of year when people really start being concerned about stuff that's happening inside. You start thinking about carbon monoxide, CO2. Is my furnace working properly? Is it efficient? And sometimes it's as simple as replacing a filter. Sometimes it could be something serious. And they're like, dude, we got to fix this. We got to take care of it now. If you have something that has to be fixed at Black Diamond, they will give you a quote. They will finish the job to your satisfaction. You will pay it. Nothing extra, nothing more, no special fees, just what they quoted you. This is why I love these guys. Go to blackdiamondexpert.com and don't forget they have 24-hour emergency service.
All right.
Now tell me about this lady.
South Dakota. She's 68 years old. She has a Guinness Book of World Record.
Oh, nice. Like in what? Like fruit pies or something?
Okay, so fruit pies.
It's South Dakota. I figured.
She collects teddy bears.
Oh, she does. She has a stuffy fetish. Okay, go on.
What?
a stuffy fetish.
What?
Stuffies. That's what they call stuffed animals now. Stuffies.
Oh, is that Beanie Babies?
A lot like
Which
that.
is like food storage, actually, because they're worth nothing. And people still have them stacked in the garage.
Do you remember that when we'd all look at it and go, this thing is
guess.
worth like $40?
No, they had ones that were it's like Bitcoin, you know? It's just like, is it worth anything? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Don't know. Could go away at any time. And there were certain limited edition ones that were like
Remember
$1,500.
Remember Smoochie the Frog?
Yes.
When the twins were born, as a matter of fact, it was Rocky Anderson. We owe him for this.
The mayor.
Rocky Anderson gave McClaney Smoochie the Frog. It was a big Beanie Baby, and he was in love with that thing. I mean, it meant so much to him, and he lost it when he was around 5.
I think we lost it. Is kind of what you're supposed to say.
Scoured the internet looking
Right.
for these, and I located 2 of them, and I'm like, hey, this is my son. He has autism. Means everything to him. Could I please buy it from you?
Playing the card.
And they're like, oh no, you have to trade it. You have a blah 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 or a blah. I don't even know what those are. Can I buy it from you? Because it's my boy. And they're
Right.
like, no. Can you trade me? What do you? Neither one of them would sell it to me because they had to trade for something else on the Beanie Baby hierarchy.
We went to their house and stole it. So the point is, she has 8,026 stuffies.
That might be too many.
You think?
I
would just be.
She's rocking that wig though.
She is rocking the wig.
That's
But
a lot of
just-
lot of bears.
Do you imagine how good she is at the claw game?
They cry when they see her entering the
How
supermarket.
much would she spend on all those? She's
Oh,
got them from every state, and she's gone to other countries and gotten them as well.
So we're talking thousands upon tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
8,000 stuffies. How many rooms would you need in your house
Everyone.
just to display them?
Everyone, they'd be in the bathroom wall to wall.
I mean,
they'd be
you
in
need to
the
do a
shower.
staple gun and you'd be...
They'd be in the shower with you. They'd be everywhere. You could use one as a scrubby. All right, so, yeah. And
All the teddy bears are belong to her.
She's done this all, she started this in 2000. So it's like a new, what you call it, a stuffy what?
Stuffy fetish.
Stuffy fetish. Okay.
Well, everyone needs a hobby.
How to make your
That costs
funeral.
several $1,000s.
How to make your funeral fun and exciting for everyone. It's coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
All right, so this I think a lot of us have gone to a typical funeral. You know, the classic. You know, where you get in and you say hello to everybody and you sit down and they talk about the person. Then they get up and then they go to the site and then a lot of people get together afterwards. Mm-hmm. In Taiwan, they do the same thing.
It's usually very quiet, yes.
Now, it's really important in Taiwan that the funeral group is big.
Well, yeah, well, that's the way for most of the Asian countries, is because that signifies respect. The bigger your funeral,
Right.
the more important you were to the community, the more
Right.
of a heightened, social status you had.
And it came from China. I guess this
Mm-hmm.
started in China. Mm-hmm. They're so big. They're so big that the guests actually donate money to the event.
So they can create an air of pageantry that would perhaps
Right.
lure more guests to the event.
And that's where the strippers come in.
What? Wait.
Sorry.
Okay, I beg your pardon.
Strippers.
They have strippers at the funeral? I've heard of strippers causing a funeral, but I've never heard
Right.
of them actually at...
Well, here's the deal.
Look at her. She's sitting there leaning on this, looking at the deer department. She's wearing her sequin bikini. Oh, my gosh.
So,
You're kidding
this was
me.
a way they realized that at the party, you could actually get people to...
No, can you go back? I want to see that picture again,
Can we
please.
see the stripper,
I got to
please?
see that picture.
Thank you.
Look at her staring lovingly at the picture of the dead guy in her sequin green bikini.
She's looking for a lap dance.
And she's
it's not
kind
going
of
to
got
happen.
that alluring pose, too, with her shoulders back. Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what they need, though? Because if you want to make it fun for the whole family, You need to have the strippers, the bounce houses, and the face painting. See, if you
That
did
really
that,
wraps it up.
you would have the entire village there.
Right? You wouldn't even have to put on a fair anymore. You just have someone die every few months, and it's like everyone's out.
Funeral potatoes, strippers.
They really have strippers at a
Strippers.
funeral.
Yeah, they make it fun.
Man, I thought New Orleans funerals were fun.
The dancing and the bands and stuff.
That's
yeah.
a whole separate thing.
Utah colleges are getting scammed. Everyone's getting scammed.
No, it's frustrating, and I feel badly for them because this is a brand new group of kids. They're freaking out. They're brand new on campus. They're wandering around. So they actually took kind of a consensus up and down the Wasatch Front from all of the major colleges and universities.
Okay.
And essentially, the question was, how did you get screwed over? I mean, and unfortunately, the kids and their parents had a whole bunch of different stories.
These are college students.
Yes, so they've kind of narrowed it down to 3 major ones that they've been seeing. So your kids on campus, you guys are new. It's maybe the second month. You don't even have your feet under you yet. Here's a couple things you need to be very careful about. Number 1, the tuition scam, where you get a call from the registrar's office and you have unpaid dues.
From
And
Nigeria.
if you don't pay these dues, you're going to get dropped from your classes today. So what they'll do is they'll call us school officials and they'll be demand to be paid immediately by credit card. And even some of these kids have been fooled by, they say, oh, we'll take a gift card, like Best Buy. Like
Maybe that's why they're in college.
You can't pay your tuition with a Best Buy gift card.
To learn.
I know. So, but the sad part though, you think about it, you're nervous because you just got in and you can't tell your parents my classes got dropped. You can't do it.
Fresh off the farm.
So you're freaking out. So the next one is the fake job scam. Every kid I know is broke. Everyone tries to make some extra money. The parents want you to make some extra money too.
Right.
And so the scammers post fake jobs promising the students a big check. Now, here's the catch. They're required to deposit the check into their own bank account and then wire part of it to the boss's preferred vendor for job supplies. Like, you're going to be selling widgets. I will send you $10,000. You will put $5,000 back in my account to pay for the widgets that I will be sending you to sell.
I have a question.
That never works out.
Why not take the $10,000 and just cash it? I mean, I didn't.
Well, it's because it never cashes. It's a bounce check. You deposit it, and then you send the money, and then you find out that the check they sent you is worthless.
I should have gone to more college.
You went through enough. You're fine, honey.
For them, I did.
But that is so mean.
Was that it?
And the sad part is, they have so much gall. They'll post on campus websites, like in the campus newspapers and on their websites. And so you're thinking, oh well, it's got to be legitimate because it was on the campus. No, it's not. And then the textbook scam. I remember this one.
No, you can just leave it there because that is an entire scam.
I still remember it, and this was a while ago. I paid $800 for one class for books.
What?
I mean, so the textbook scam's a beating, and it gets more and more expensive. So what you're thinking though is scammers set up the websites, and they say, we've got all the textbooks, and basically they just cut and paste the list of textbooks and things from reputable sites, and they go, hey, we got all these for 50% off whatever they're charging. So you go, oh, good, that's great, totally. I can get my organic chemistry for, instead of $300, I'll get it for $150. So you order it, you send them your $150, and you don't get any books, and they have your money.
Do you know that the textbooks are a big ripoff, just being textbooks, because they'll go through and they'll change for a paragraph.
And then all of a sudden it's worthless again.
And then you need the new one. Mm-hmm. What I used to do is I always bought my textbook used because they're already highlighted. And that really saves a lot of time.
I totally did that.
If the person you got it from was smart.
Yeah, you have to double check and make sure it looks like they knew what they're doing.
Right. Maybe some notes, and you're like,
that are spelled correctly.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's the big 3 they're finding this year where they're just still totally screwing people over.
I want you to think about a spelunker.
A spelunker. I mean, why don't you explain spelunking for anyone who may not?
Crazy people who like to climb into caves.
Are the stalactites the ones that go up, or the stalagmites go down?
Mites go up. The ones that hang from the ceiling have to hang on tight.
Stalactites.
Stalactites.
Okay, I was right.
Indiana students, so they got together and they had a little extracurricular thing at college, and they thought, you know what, let's become spelunkers. So someone had some experience, so they all learned to do it.
Let's wrap ourselves in ropes and get covered in mud.
And let's bat poop. And so basically,
it's guano.
I call it maize. So anyway, they go in and they spelunk, and they're tired of spelunking, so they go home.
Okay, so far.
And they left Lucas Caver there
They left someone behind?
in the cave.
How do you forget somebody when you're spelunking?
I don't know.
That seems like an important like safety tip. Like, are we all still back in the van now?
It says here they were his friends. Imagine what
Really?
enemies would have done to him. So basically, he's in there for 3 days.
He was trapped in there?
He has no cell service, and he's licking the walls for water. And he's just waiting and kept yelling and yelling.
He was typing goodbye messages on his iPhone before the battery died on the second day. So you're sitting in a dark cave in pitch black. So I wouldn't have gone completely comatose at this point.
But wait a minute, his friend, 60 hours later, realized their mistake.
It took you almost 3 days to remember you had a friend?
Wouldn't you wonder why there was so extra room in the car on the way home? There's
Don't we have a friend named Lucas? I haven't
Where's
seen him
Luke?
recently.
Luke, maybe he's on the roof.
Are you serious?
They left him for 3 days, and they finally went back and they found him.
This is the world's most awful quote. In that sort of situation, if you let your mind wander, it goes to really scary places. I guess that's where mine went, that I would die alone in this cave.
There's a spelunking career ended.
Oh, you
Abruptly.
have so much to pay for, my friends, or Lucas's friends in this
All right,
case.
I have to tell
How
you.
could they leave him for almost 3 days before they remembered, oh yeah, Lucas is still in the cave?
Let's get him right after this movie.
He's licking the wall for moisture.
We-
And they can't remember they have a
Chips?
friend named Lucas for 3 days.
They're watching football. Just halftime.
I'm
we'll go-
parched. Let's get some
we'll go-
beer. We
yeah.
can get some beer on the way.
I want to tell this story really carefully.
Uh-oh.
Because I was in Taylorsville yesterday, and we were talking to some people. We met, and they were like, "Oh, this is great." And I don't spend a lot of time in Taylorsville, and it's really cool. And I said, "Is there anywhere to eat?" And this lady, she must have been 65, maybe 68, 70 years old, and she told me the name of the place that she recommended highly. It was this. Now, that's an Asian name for a place.
Yeah.
But she didn't use the correct
Pronunciation?
pronunciation.
Uh-huh.
And so this 68-year-old grandma kept repeating the name of the restaurant to me.
Were you giggling uncontrollably like a 12-year-old?
I was just, at first I was like, you what? What?
Ma'am, I beg your pardon?
So at that point, I had to find out, right? So I walked in and I talked to the manager and I said, please help me. How do you say the name of your restaurant?
The name is called Job Fugu. Okay, job is represent for jobtist or job. Fugu in Japan is mean lucky. So we can call lucky jobtist or lucky job. I serve Japanese cuisine, fusion food, Japanese, Thai, and a little bit Vietnamese food. We treat the customer the way we want to be treated. Treat like a family, a friend. We love to making sushi.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
That looks delicious.
So now that explains the name. All right, so all the innocent grandmas out there, please fix it and know how to pronounce it.
That looks delicious.
But you know one of the big things they're known for?
Yeah?
Celebrities. They have
In
celebrities.
Taylorsville? That's so cute.
One last Monday, she came over here with her husband, and then she drove 45 minutes away from Park City, and she tried the food, and she loved it. And she said, why don't we go to Park City? So I told her probably too far away.
Wow, huh?
Katherine Heigl, that's so cool.
She wants them to build in the Park City.
Grey's
there.
Anatomy, that's nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
it just makes me so
Richard, really,
hungry.
did you have to keep shooting all the food?
All right, so thanks for watching today, and thank you so much for the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. And now I'm ready. Oh, I should mention the restaurant. The restaurant has huge ratings with Yelp. They're gigantic. And they're
Ooh, the bento boxes.
Taylorsville, 4546
And
South
Pad Thai?
Atherton Drive.
Ooh.
I know, and the prices are really decent.
Look at that spicy mixed fishes.
Now we just have to wait till they open. You guys have a great day on GetPartDaily.com.
I serve Japanese cuisine, fusion food,